What's up everyone, it's Alexis, and today I wanted to talk about the brand new iPhone 15 series. So I'll be going over some of the upgrades in terms of the hardware and the software, and I'll be giving some of my thoughts in between. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So this year, Apple officially released the iPhone 15 series on September 22nd, 2023. So similar to last year, Apple released 4 new phones this year. So we have the iPhone 15, the iPhone 15 Plus, the iPhone 15 Pro, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So at a first glance, the new iPhones appear to have largely the same design as previous models. However, after taking a closer look, you'll notice that there are a few key differences in terms of the hardware, the software, and the integration with the Apple ecosystem. So the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Pro will have the same size display, so they will each have a 6.1-inch screen, whereas the iPhone 15 Plus and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will have the same size in terms of the display. So we have a 6.7-inch, so a little bit bigger than your standard models. So all of the iPhones in the iPhone 15 series will have the Super Retina XDR display. However, the Pro models do have some additional features with the display. For example, the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max both come with Apple's ProMotion. And so basically what ProMotion does is it allows the phone to run at a maximum of 120 Hz. And so the advantage of this is that you can get a smoother experience when using the device. In terms of scrolling and swiping, the adaptive refresh rate makes the animations look a lot smoother. And then when compared to the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus, they can only do a maximum of 60 Hz. So if you're looking for those extra smooth animations, that's probably something I would look out for. Additionally, the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will both come with the always-on display. So you'll be able to set your own always-on display using the Pro models. However, this feature is not available on the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 15 Plus. So in terms of the hardware, there is a big difference between the iPhone 15 and the 15 Pro. So the iPhone 15 will have an aluminum back with glass, whereas the iPhone 15 Pro will have a titanium back also with glass. And honestly, I have to say that I really do like the look of the titanium iPhone. I still have yet to see it in person, but just from the videos and images that I've seen online, it really does have a more sturdy feel as well as a more premium look. So I really like this change when compared to last year's model. And this year, all iPhones in the iPhone 15 series will come with the dynamic island. So previously it was the case that the dynamic island was only available on the Pro models last year, but this year the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus will also have the dynamic island. And honestly, I really do like the fact that this year it does seem like the standard iPhone does have some better features when compared to like the iPhone 14 or the iPhone 13. And I think it's great, especially if you're more of a cost-conscious person or you're just looking to get a base model phone. I like that Apple is now including this into the base model phone. So while I do like the fact that they did away with the notch and they just brought over the dynamic island to the iPhone 15, I'm still not fully convinced that it's a super useful feature. I mean, I like the fact that you can view notifications at a glance. I just don't know how useful it is for the notifications that update in real time and things like that. It sort of seems like that would work better, like a pop-up window that you can sort of move around. But with the dynamic island, it is going to be at the top of the iPhone. So you're pretty much limited to using a pop-up window only on the top of the display. I'd much rather have like a pop-up window that I can like move around anywhere on the screen. Especially for like multitasking or if you're using 2 apps at the same time. However, I think it's more of a personal preference, so I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think about Dynamic Island? Feel free to let me know down in the comments below. So when it comes down to the processors, the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus will have the A16 Bionic chip. So the A16 Bionic chip was the chip that was used on last year's Pro models. So while the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus will have last year's chip, it will be last year's Pro chip. So it will be a step up when compared to last year. On the other hand, the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will have the brand new processor. So the Pro models will be taking advantage of the brand new A17 Pro chip. So this new processor was designed to take on the next generation gaming on mobile, as well as the new camera with the spatial video and all the new features that come with the new phone. The most significant change is, as I'm sure you're all aware already, the brand new charging port. So after years and years of Apple pushing their proprietary Lightning port on the iPhone, I honestly never thought this day would come. So we saw Apple phase out the headphone jack with the iPhone, as well as they slowly phased out the Lightning port on the iPad, and they even introduced USB-C to MacBooks a couple years ago. And then the straw that finally broke the camel's back was the new EU regulations, which I'm sure you're all aware of. So with this new regulation, any smartphones sold in the EU after fall of 2024 have to have USB Type-C. So if certain manufacturers had proprietary charging ports, they would be required to drop them and incorporate USB Type-C. And being that the EU is a large market for Apple, they pretty much had either the choice of not doing business in the EU or bringing in the USB Type-C port. And honestly, I'm glad that the new iPhone has the USB Type-C. I think it's amazing. So the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus will both be capable of USB 2, whereas the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be capable of up to USB 3. So the difference between USB 2 and USB 3 is that USB 3 would have faster file transferring capability. So all the new iPhones will come with the new charger in the box. However, the only caveat is that the new charger will only be capable of 2.0 speeds. So if you're getting an iPhone 15 Pro or an iPhone 15 Pro Max, you might want to get a separate charger if you want to do the faster file transfer. And I really like to see year after year how more and more devices are adopting the USB Type-C connector. I remember years ago hearing talk or even just discussing with friends about the future and how in the future everything would only require one cable. And so I think it's kind of mind-blowing to see how that reality is slowly coming to fruition. And overall, I think it's better for consumers because it gives you more control over how you use your device and how you spend your money. So for the cameras, the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus both have a dual camera setup, whereas the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max will each have a triple camera setup. So the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus did get a major upgrade to the camera. So previously they were only capable of 12 megapixels, but now the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus cameras both have the capability of 48 megapixels. And on top of that, they can do a maximum of 2x optical zoom. The iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max camera have also seen some upgrades as well as some brand new features. So the iPhone 15 Pro is capable of up to 3x optical zoom, whereas the iPhone 15 Pro Max is capable of up to 5x optical zoom. So having that extra camera lens will offer better zoom and better quality overall. And while having upgrades to the camera is always great, one of the biggest features that I'm most excited for is the spatial video. So spatial video is a new feature that Apple has released on the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max. However, this feature won't be available until sometime in late 2023. And honestly, I think it says a lot about the direction that Apple is going in with the iPhone as well as the Apple Vision Pro. And best believe that there's only going to be more and more features coming out when it comes to like AR and VR. The new feature would allow you to record 3D video using your iPhone, and Apple claims that this will be an immersive new way to capture and experience your memories, especially when paired with the Apple Vision Pro. So the idea is that you can use your iPhone to record a 3D video and then play it back on your Apple Vision Pro as if you're reliving the moment. So I'm really interested to see where these features will go and what additional features the iPhone will get in order to integrate it with the Apple Vision Pro. So another new feature coming to the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 Pro Max is the action button. So the action button is very similar to the action button found on the Apple Watch, and basically on the iPhone it'll be replacing the ring switcher. So the new button allows you to program a custom shortcut to it. So you'd be able to use the action button to launch the camera or to toggle focus mode and other accessibility features. On the other hand, the iPhone 15 and the iPhone 15 Plus will still have the old ring switcher. So I do like the idea of having a programmable button on your device. However, I am curious to see what options iOS will allow you to use on the action button. So in terms of software, both devices will have the latest version of iOS, which is iOS 17. So similar to the hardware, the software isn't going to be too big of an overhaul, so it's just going to be mainly small quality of life differences. So not too many redesigns this time around. So I'll just briefly go over some of the features that stood out to me, like NameDrop and standby mode. So NameDrop is a new feature that comes with iOS 17, and essentially what this does is it allows you to swap contacts very easily with another iPhone user. So it would work very similar to AirDrop, where you have two iPhones near each other and you can send images or videos, but this time it'll be for your contact. So I just think it's a really convenient and seamless way to exchange contact information. However, I would be curious to see how it works in the real world and if people actually start using it. So another feature that I found interesting about iOS 17 is standby mode. So standby mode, it allows you to use your iPhone kind of like a mini display. So you can set it up on one of the MagSafe chargers and have it display a slideshow of photos, or you can display a clock and have it on your nightstand. So I just think it's a really neat feature where you can kind of set your phone up on a stand and have it there sort of, as the name implies, on standby while you're doing something, or even like at night, you can use it on your nightstand and use it as an alarm clock. So like, I think that there's a lot of different use cases for standby mode, and I found it to be really interesting. So now for the price, there has been some changes to the price on the iPhone 15 series. So the iPhone 15 will start at $799 and will have 128 gigabytes of storage. The iPhone 15 Plus will start at $899 and will also come with 128 gigabytes of storage. So the iPhone 15 Pro starts at $999 and the base model will also come with 128 gigabytes. So the iPhone 15 Pro Max got the price increase. So now it goes for $1199 and the base model comes with 256 gigabytes this time. So really only the iPhone 15 Pro Max is more expensive, but also with that you get more storage for the base model Pro Max. While it is nice to have the higher storage on the Pro Max, I do really wish that I would have seen the higher storage on at least the iPhone 15 Pro because the main selling point for the Pro phones is the camera, and so that is something that you want to consider if you're looking to get one of these devices, is the memory and how you use it. So for my final thoughts, I think it's clear that the iPhone 15 series is very much similar to the iPhones that came before it, with some of the expected upgrades such as, a better camera, better processor, better hardware. I think that the iPhone 15 having USB Type-C is one of the most impactful aspects of the device, and I'm excited to see what happens next, especially with the EU and the regulations that are passing. So it is very possible that in the next few years, all smartphones will have to have user removable batteries. So now that the iPhone has the USB Type-C port, I'm curious to see what will happen with the battery next. Additionally, there's been a lot of talk about side loading and whether you should be able to side load apps onto the iPhone. So this is one of the advantages of using Android, is that you're able to side load apps, whereas on the iPhone, you can only really download apps from the App Store. So I never thought we would see the day when the iPhone 15 would have a USB Type-C port, but here we are. So who knows? Maybe the next iPhone will have a user removable battery. After having USB Type-C, it almost seems like anything is possible. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more videos like this one. In the meantime, it's been Alexis giving my thoughts on the brand new iPhone 15 series. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.